first thing you need to do is be able to identify what's the function part and what is the domain part. So the domain part falls after the comma. Okay, so here are my domains. Okay, so what lies in front is going to be the equation of the line that falls within that range of values. Okay, and they should be very simple very simple linear equations right now. Okay, they're not going to be, you're not going to have to do parabolas and stuff like that. So here we're just looking at linear equations. Okay, and so you're going to be given rays and segments that you're going to be asked to construct with. Okay. You're also going to be given open circles and closed circles. Like I said, I'm going to show you this live dynamically in just a moment. Okay, but what you're going to do is you can go in any order that you want. To me, what I would recommend is you do the constant part if there is a constant part first. So notice that this is just a constant, right? Or the output is 7. So from -8 to 3, okay, so from here's -8, here's 3, your output's going to be 7. So if I go up -8 all the way to 7, so right here, and then all the way over to 3 right here, what I would first do is I would plot my segment. Okay, now, at the same time, I would identify, am I going to have open dot or closed dot at each of those endpoints? Well, is the -8 included or excluded? -8 is excluded. So I'm going to put an open dot at -8. What about 3? Included. I'll put a closed dot at 3. Okay. Next, I would go to, again, just you can pick any of these. So I'm going to work to the left. X is less than or equal to -8. So I'm now going to work with this equation. And this equation has the form x plus 2. Okay, so all you need is you need to evaluate 2 points to get your equation or to get your line. Right? Or the easiest thing is to just graph 1 point and then use the slope. Right? So if I know this starts at -8, what I can do is I can evaluate this for -8. So if I put -8 plus 2, what do I get here? -6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, my very first point is going to be at -8, -6. So right here. And is it going to be an open or closed dot? Closed dot, right? All right, now, my slope for this is what? I need a second point for this, or for my ray, because I'm going to start here and I'm going to go to the left. My slope is 1. So instead of going up 1 over 1, I can go down 1, left 1. And so if I just use that right there, I'll get my ray. Okay, and then again, my closed dot to indicate that that point is included. Okay, and then do the same thing with my final piece. I'm going to use the ray tool again. I have -x minus 2. I start at 3, so I'm going to evaluate. Plug in a 3 for the x, and that gives me a -5. So I'm going to take the point 3 and then go down -5 right here. So here's where I'm going to start. My slope is down a -1, so I'm going to go down 1 over 1. So this is my graph. So I, again, use my ray tool. And then am I going to have an open or closed dot at this point? Here it's a greater than, there is no equal, so it'll be an open dot here. So that's what my sketch of this graph is going to look like. All right, so it's easy that I showed you this, but this isn't exactly what you're going to see. What you're going to see looks like this. Okay, so here are the tools that you'll be using. So let me walk through with this example here what you'll use for these tools. Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would select my segment. Okay, my segment's going to be between what x values? One and 2, right? And my output is -7. So from 1 to 2, my output is -7. So there's my first piece. Okay, and I know, again, that I have an open dot at the left, and I have a closed dot at the right. So notice I selected each of those and plotted them. Okay, I'm then going to go to the values that are less than or equal to 1. So I'm going to go to my ray tool. And so if I evaluate at 1, so negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, minus 3 is minus 5. So if I go 1 minus 5, I plot my first point. And what's the slope of this line? It's a negative 2. So I either go down to over 1, but that's not where I want it to be. So I want to go up to over 1 this way. So I can plot my second point to give me that line. And so here is my value at this 1 included or excluded. Less than or equal to included, so I select the closed dot, plot it right there. Go back to my ray tool. I'm now going to pick my last portion. So on this last one here, it starts at x is 2. That's when this equation begins. So if I plug in a 2, so negative 5 times 2 is negative 10, plus 3 is negative 7. So 2, negative 7 is where I'm going to start. So I plot that. And then my slope is negative 5. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Oops. Now, if you mess up like that and you need to move the point, what you can do is you can drag your point. If you go to the point, you can drag it. And if you want to remove it, just drag it off of the screen completely, okay, or off the graph completely, and you can restart. You don't have to clear everything, because some of you are going to make a mistake. You're going to try to fix it, and all it's going to do is going to put more lines on there. Okay, so if you put lines on that you don't want, just drag the piece off to the side, and it'll disappear. You don't have to clear it all. Okay, so I went to negative 7, and I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. There's my point. And then I do need here, in this case, I have my open circle at this point. Now, it happens to coincide directly with the point that was the closed circle. Okay, we'll see how this works. Okay, if you have both of them overlapping, you're not going to be able to see which one was which, but you can submit it. It looks like it scored that correctly. It read both of them there. Okay.